Our recruitment efforts to hire 10,000 new ICE officers has been extremely successful, Lawrence. As of today, we have over 80,000 applicants for those 10,000 positions already. People and patriots across this country that say, we want to join, we want to help and be a part of this effort. It's overwhelming to see the amount of response and support that our ICE officers have gotten and people who want to join their ranks. So I would tell everybody, go to join.ice.gov and go there and sign up, be a part of this team that is helping make America safe again with President Trump.
Right. Masa is a Spanish word. If they only knew that masa was a Spanish word, they probably wouldn't use it. That's your Secretary of Homeland Security. Over the last few weeks, Kristi Noem has been touting her agency's ongoing efforts to expand and carry out Trump's mass deportation agenda, which she is a big part. And new reporting shows how much further they've gone with these efforts. Now, that video you watched was from last month. According to a statement Kristi Noem made on Tuesday of this week, the number of applications they've received has gone up to more than 150,000, and they've extended over 18,000 job offers, and they still want more. As part of ICE's latest recruitment efforts, they're now running local ads in cities like Chicago and Denver, trying to poach local law enforcement. I've seen it in Los Angeles as well. In a column with HuffPo, Joe Gay, who's a voiceover actor, was offered an audition for these commercials and wrote about what they wanted. It said, "I look closer, it's worse than I originally thought. These ads are designed to talk police officers into leaving their jobs to join ICE for way more money and way less supervision. The script has all the old chestnuts you might expect from this current administration. How he can protect America, help capture the worst of the worst, drug traffickers, gang members, predators, hiring bonuses up to 50,000, and generous benefits." One of the things I've noticed in watching these ads, and John, if you've watched a lot of sports recently, these ads pop up, is they're offering these police officers forgiveness of student loan debt as well, which is a remarkable thing. But the most the most shocking part of the script, attention law enforcement. You took an oath to protect and to serve, to keep your family, your neighborhood safe. But in too many cities, dangerous illegals walk free as police are forced to stand down. This is what Gay was shocked by the ad understood the subtext to mean. As a cop, there's oversight, body cameras rolling, and rules that need to be followed. But this ad appears to be saying that if you join ICE, you can be the bully you've always wanted to be, and you won't have to answer for not adhering to the Constitution or any violence or inappropriate behavior that might occur while doing the job. There is no oversight. Can you imagine how nice that would be for some of these cops? Essentially, the government seems to be saying, here's up to 50,000 just to sign up. Here are the health benefits. Here's a gun. Here's a baton. Come be the kick-ass man or woman you've always wanted to be, with no police department protocol limiting you. Wear a mask, no badge, open season. I mean, can you imagine Derek Chauvin seeing this ad in prison? It's like, oh, I was so early. I just waited. According to Gay, the insane payday voice actors are getting offered.
You're acting like you don't think he's going to get pardoned, but go on.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah. I mean, for the moment, the insane payday voice actors are getting offered to do these commercials. Shows how serious they are about getting ICE recruitment numbers up. The budget is huge, much higher than the average rate for TV or radio spots. This one job would be enough to cover my rent for 4 months, and I might be offered more gigs in the future. ICE is really taking the you have to spend money to make money thing seriously, and that's also why they're seeking roughly 300 new office sites to house over 10,000 new immigration officers and lawyers. Those staffers will be located at offices across the country, some in red cities and red states, including in the South and the Midwest. According to one federal official with direct knowledge of the expansion efforts, no leases have yet been signed, as the initiative is still in the procurement phase, according to another official directly familiar with the project. So the proposed locations include major cities in Alabama, Idaho, South Carolina, Florida, and Wisconsin. This summer, Congress tripled ICE's enforcement and deportation budget to $29.9 billion and pledged $45 billion for construction of immigrant detention centers. ICE staffers have also expressed the view that money is no object, even though the cost of adding all the new offices will easily run into the tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. The official familiar with the project said. So what we're seeing here is, let's cut the government, Doge, you're fired, don't show up at work, right? And then all of a sudden, let's hire everybody. John?
I mean, yeah, look, first off, illegals is a word that Christians who despise Jesus use to describe Christian refugees. Okay, that's pretty much how we know that you hate the Old Testament and the New Testament. And it's tricky hiring for ICE because, it's not easy to find the right man. You got to find somebody who's a thug, but also an unmanly coward chicken. And it's really hard. You got to find the right mix of thug and unmanly coward chicken to go ahead and wear a mask and abuse people who are your kid's nanny. You got to find a Christian who despises everything God and Jesus and the Bible say about welcoming the stranger. So they can't just take any kind of defective degenerate to come and do this job. If they wanted border crossings to stop, they would take down the employers. If they wanted, first off, the majority of undocumented immigrants in this country are here because they overstayed their visas. No one knows that because the media doesn't care. There's like 50,000 Irish in this country. There's no plan to get them. This is the border crossers. And if they wanted border crossings to stop, you just arrest the people who do the hiring. There is a gigantic help wanted sign at our border, and there's no wall we can ever build that's big enough to hide it. So if you said you hire any undocumented immigrant, you're going to jail for a year, well, they'd stop hiring and they'd stop crossing the border. And we wouldn't have that exploitable, brown-skinned, marginalized workforce anymore to prop up our economy, and the economy would collapse and salads would cost $75. Now, I realize MAGA voters aren't really big on salads, so they might not care. But if they wanted it to stop, they lock up the employers. It's supply and demand. When they raid one of these meatpacking plants, they don't arrest the guys in the back room counting the money. Those are the guys like Trump. They come here because of white people who don't want to pay American workers a living wage. And the fact that the media can't talk about this and the Democrats can't talk about this shows all of us it's just a racist scam.
Yeah, I mean the idea that you're a cop. I mean, if you're a cop in a stable job, to join ICE to do this crusading, I don't think you have all your screws tied down, because unless ICE is telling me they got a union that's gonna make it so that you can't get fired, like damn near every single police union in the country,
right?
And they're gonna hook you up with a pension, I don't see why you would leave your safe union job and your pension and all of the stuff that comes with being a cop to go crusading. And I'm sure it's a nice, temporary payday, but like long term, dude, I think it's a mistake. But what I realized the other day, because we did a segment about ICE getting like a few hundred cars like wrapped in their new ICE logo or whatever, and they spent like $1 million something. And I realized that this thing is just a grift. It's just another slush fund, honestly, so that a bunch of their buddies, I promise you, these contracts for these buildings, that these facilities they're gonna make, I'm sure the guy that got the contract to wrap the ICE vehicles is connected somehow to the administration. Like, it's just another way to steal money from the American people. Like that's kind of what I'm realizing about ICE. I don't think it's actually about deporting 10 million people, undocumented, so-called illegal people. I really just think it's just another classic money grab.
Well, it's definitely a part of it, and the other thing, in addressing what you just said is that, the presumption that these police departments wouldn't take these people back once they're done with their ICE assignment is like that. Of course they would, right? I mean, they're all birds of the same feather, and the ones that leave are the ones, like John said, are the ones who. Maybe we're cut out for trying to do something a little bit tougher, and don't want handcuffs around what they're able to do, and it's a really disturbing thing. I'm left so uncomfortable when I watch these ads, and they are popping up in NFL games and the U.S. Open, watching tennis. I saw them, and it's a real bad thing, and I fear that what Waz is saying is true too, that this is motivated, I mean, I don't fear it, I know it, is motivated by so much more. It's motivated by racism and greed, and it has nothing to do with, with safety. It's perception, and they want to talk about it in a midterm election next year. Meantime, to put a bookend on the whole show today, you're seeing that it's not washing with most Americans. They're finding that they don't think Trump's doing a good job on crime, and that this deployment to the cities is not working either in terms of being a popular issue. I don't know where he goes. We should probably say Jeffrey Epstein's name a few more times before the end of the show. So Jeffrey Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein, guys, right?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, I figured you'd agree.
Yes, ask your Republicans how proud they are of protecting child rapists, because that's what they're doing, and they're doing a really good job.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.